Alrighty, so Monday morning, so yesterday, as I showed in that video I put up last night on YouTube, I got all the bulk of that all done, just some minor cleanup and, like there's some other little minor stuff, but anyway, I'm going to try and get into these front doors, and I actually forgotten that I hadn't stripped these front doors out. I'd stripped the back ones, but I haven't done these front ones. So I'm just in the process of pulling the old door rubber off, and I'm going to try and save them and reuse them temporarily once I put the car back on the road, just to save me a few dollars initially. But I will get some new ones. But she's pretty doggy, but it will do for a start off to get by with. But I'm just having a wee look. So I'm going to have to do some repair here because some goon at some point has started cutting this out to put a speaker in, I reckon, and then they've realised it's holding the bloody window in. So I'm going to have to go around there and repair that. And I'm just looking at the inside of the door. I'm going to have to make a patch up for the inside of the skin. And this is that one that's got all the rot across the bottom, so I'm going to have to get in here and have a fairly good look. So I'll start stripping this down and getting all the good glass and everything out and the regulator out and all that sort of stuff, and bag all the bits and pieces up that I need to bag up, so I know I don't mix stuff up from one door to the other, and I'll label everything. So we'll get into that, and then we'll start having a decent look at what I've got to do to repair it. So yeah, we'll carry on and we'll see you shortly, I guess. Cheers. So, I'm just starting to strip this door down. I'll sort of give you a quick tip with stripping cars and that years and years ago. A few things I've learned. So if you ever get into these especially this old stuff that's 40, 50, 60 years old or even older, when you're going into anyway, when you're going into undo screws and bolts and bits and pieces, it doesn't hurt to obviously give them a bit of spray. If they really look really rusty, give them a spray with some penetrating or WD-40 or whatever. Like these ones on this window here, on this window frame, these ones here, just give them a shock with a hammer or something like that. That'll help break any rust or bind that they've got, and then they'll just undo. Not always, but it helps. Just helps break that seal from the rust and grind and shit like that. And then they come undone. So instead of just getting in there with the screwdriver and putting a bit of force on it and trying to undo it, just give them a shock, and not every time, but it always helps. And same with bolts. If you think they're a bit cruddy and a bit rusty, give them a spray, some penetrating oil, and even come along with a punch on the back of the bolt and just give it a whack, and it'll help break that rust bind. So yeah, that's just a quick tip for you. So I've got these doors apart, well, almost all apart. And this is one thing that I've never really struck on any of the old cars I've worked on, is this plastic guide thing here with these little rubber blocks on it. It's obviously meant to have another rubber block on here, and it's got one on the other side there, as you can sort of see. It's something I've never struck in a car over here. Even in the Australian stuff, which was basically all loosely based on American stuff. I've never struck anything like that. Normally they get the rubber, sort of that rubbery felt sort of channel that goes down in there, and then the glass just slides in amongst that. But that's got this plasticky thing with two little rubber guides on it. Whereas the rest of the window frame had that stuff in there. Wherever I put it, and I'll grab it and I'll show you. I actually thought it was missing, but it's not. So like that stuff. Get air on the light so you can see. Yeah, like that. Like I've always struck it so that goes all the way around a window, and then the glass slides in that, you know, and seals it against the weather and wind noise and all that sort of stuff. So I've never struck anything, especially this era, that's had like a little slider seal thing on it like that. It's a bit of a strange one. So I don't know whether I can modify that and put a rubber in there, like say to something a bit more modern, so if I can find something like some sort of modern car that's got a channel in there, like, or even find anything like from something even Australian, and slide one of those rubber bits in there and get rid of that thing, because I have no idea where I'm going to get what these things from. I'll have to have a look at those other. I stripped those other doors. They had the glass on, but I can't remember if they had them or not. So yeah, it's an unusual front glass thing, because I don't even think the back ones had that. Have a look at this other front door. Got me curious now. No, there's no channel there. Like I thought there was actually missing, but it's not. It's got like that plastic slide thing on the glass. Yeah, that's weird. That's a real strange one. I don't know whether it was unique to this model, or whether it's something else they've used before, or something that they tried. Strange. Anyway, I'll get back to getting the door lock and everything out of this, and the last of the locking mechanisms, and then we can have a bit of a clean up and see where we go next. Alright, cheers. Alrighty guys, so I've had a bit of a look inside and everything, and I think my best bet for this door is to remake the bottom of the skin and join it through here somewhere below that ridge, because it's pretty doggy along here, especially on the inside. You can see where it's quite rusty and against the inner frame.
It's just that bit here.
Yeah, no, it's just more than that, matey. I think it's rusty here too, and down here. So I'm gonna have to try and get this outer skin off the bottom of this outer skin,
And paint it new,
and then make a new bottom, I reckon.
yeah, so it could be brand new.
Yeah. And while I've got the bottom off, I might better get my hand up in here and knock some of these dents out.
And paint the door green.
Yeah, we'll paint the door green. Or
No, don't make it dark green. Make it light green so I can see it proper.
so you can see it properly.
No, like that tree there.
Like that tree?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
We need it light green because if I can't see it,
Yeah.
I have to give it a pipe off it and put some light green on it.
Anyway, so I'll get the bottom off this door and we'll have a clean up and we'll see where we go. Alrighty. Alrighty guys, so I got the bottom off. As you can see, like, it's starting to get quite rusty in there in places, so I'm going to have to come along here and do some repairs and rebuild this corner a bit. And as you can see, like, that's the outer skin. You probably could have put a patch in there and tried to tidy up the rest of that, but like, this was going to break through, so it was definitely worth taking that bottom off and getting up and back up to some reasonable sort of steel. So now I can get in here with my media blaster and clean all this up and poke it up in there, like on the other side, and get in there with rust converter and all that sort of stuff and clean it all up, and we can end up with a nice solid door again. So I'm not sure if I've got enough material, a decent length of material to make this. So I'll have to have a bit of an investigation to see whether I've got a piece big enough. But I've got a pretty good nice pattern there now to make the repair section off. And I haven't destroyed it trying to get it off. It was spot welded on about 4 places across the bottom, and then just had a couple of welds in the corners So I'll just gently pry it off and work my way down it. And probably the most stubborn bits with these pieces in here, just trying to get it to break that, just that mechanical squeezed up grip bond. Was just trying to get that last of that bit off, but eventually got it off with a bit of persistence. And so at least now I've got a good pattern to make the new bit of skin off, and I can easily come in here now and rebuild this, clean it up, see what this material is like, and decide how much of this I'm going to replace. Alright guys, so I'll get into that. I might have to sieve it a bit more garnet, because I've almost got nothing left in my little thing there. I've still got a bucket full of stuff there, so I'll have to have a bit of a sweep up and sieve a bit of clean stuff out, and give this a bloody good clean up. And yeah, we'll go from there. Alrighty, cheers. Alrighty, so I'm back at it again. So I've just tacked this in a few spots just to hold this in place, and then I went round with the wire brush on the angle grinder and cleaned it back to a nice sort of weightable steel, so it's not all splattery. But yeah, it was very awkward to try and clean up before I could, because this was sitting in so far. So I sort of just lifted it up the best I could and sort of tacked it in place, so at least then I could get in there and have a decent clean up with both surfaces. Now I can weld that up properly and dress it up. And I've given the other part of it a bit of a light blast, and on the inside, and I've gone around sort of inside the door, and I just sort of blew the worst of any sort of light scaly stuff off the inner frame of the door, sort of where I could. So I'm just going to weld this up now, and then I'll probably go around and take all these little door rubber clips off, and then we're looking at sorting that out if we need to. Righty, cheers. Righty, so another bit of an update for you. So that's that piece I welded up. I just flicked a bit of primer on there out of the old, or that rattle can that I use for the weld through, just to protect the bare steel. So like if you look hard enough, you can see where I've sort of ground it back and welded it. But you know, with a tidy up, you know, like whether I, you know, in a quick coat of paint on the inside of the door when I give it a scuff up, that'll look fine. I'll probably end up painting the insides of these doors black, I think, but well, who knows at this stage, that could change. But yeah, so I've got that sorted. So now I've been trying to just knock a few of these marks and bits and pieces out. I'm trying to lift some of this because this was sort of pushed in. So I've been in there with some of the bars and levers and bits and pieces I've got, and I've tried to push this up, and I've actually got it to lift up, but there's still some dents and stuff in there. And same down this other end, a bit of damage in there. But there's a bit of a mark here, and it's pushed that body line down, like it's probably down in the centre, you know, probably about that far. So I'm going to resort to my jack trick, if I can get it to work, and put a bit of bar in there, like in the crossbar of the jack, and put it in there and see if I can wind it up and force a bit of pressure on it, and then I'll just work it backwards and forwards along with the hammer, and see if I can knock the worst of that out and get it to sit up. Because if you look down there, it's sort of hard to see, but there's a very slight low spot in that. So I just want to get that to lift back up, and at least when I do body, like, you know, sanding and all that sort of stuff, it's pretty flat. You know, it's probably going to have a little bit of filler on there, but at least if I can get that centre line to come up and be pretty flat, like a minor skim's not going to be much, but I don't want to be, you know, sort of that much too low and actually have to fill the whole panel through there, like that's stupid. So with a little bit of pressure and a little bit of hammer work, we'll get that to lift, just like I did with that back door and bits and pieces. And I can still got, but it's like it's an easy way, especially when I've got a bit of reasonable access in there. Like, it's not good because I can sort of only get my arm in there, but it's better than nothing. So I'll have a play with that, and by the time I've done that, that'll be pretty much me for the night. Because I'm starting to run out of, well, getting close to running out of daylight in maybe another hour, so I'll get this on these sawhorses, whatever you want to call them, and have a play with that and get some pressure on it and see if I can knock the rest of that out. Alrighty? What do you guys say? I think I just got to pop the phone inside the door to show you what I'm doing. So this is what I'm doing, basically, and just winding that up. I'll just lift you up to the outside. See if we can see as it comes up. I can't bloody... Worst bit is trying to wind the bastard up sometimes. A fair bit of pressure on there. Bugger. Yeah, it's awkward. A little bit of piss on it, trying to get it to come up, but it's going to come. Just keep turning the jack a little bit at a time and piss around. So, as you can probably see now, that's bowed out. So I've still got the jack in there, and I've still got pressure on it. And I've done a little bit of work, and I've just put a bit more pressure on it to try and get it straightened out as I hammer on this piece where it's pulled in. So I can try and get it to stretch back out again. So I'll do a wee bit more and see if we can get that to flatten out, especially when I let it down. I mean, just to get it to stay, you know, sort of just level out and stay there. Like as you can see, like some of these dints here, not very easy to get into, just to try and get the pressure in the right place to get these flattened out. But I'll try and get the worst of them out the best I can. Righty, carry on. Cheers. No, if you can see this or not, but like this, that way. So that's where that dint was. So where are we? Sort of about mid screen. So I got that pretty much right now. That a little bit of work. There's no big gap down there anymore like it was. It was probably, I don't think what somewhere about 1/8 of an inch down before, and that's pretty much flat now, like everything else. Will come out with body work and a skim. So that's good. So I've got that flattened back out. That looks pretty good. Okay, it's still a bit of a low spot where they've welded it in bits and pieces, but you know, like a little bit of filler, smear filler that's got to go on there to fix that is minor. So I'll see if I can do something a bit more with that. I might even try and, I don't know, because there's a scraper on there, I might try and put that jack and under here, or just the plate flat, and see if I can put a bit of pressure on it, see if I can dolly some of this out. I don't know if I can, but just to try and get a decent bit of pressure on there. So I'm not able to, you know, put a heap of mud in here. So alright, we'll carry on. We'll see if we can get a bit more done. Alright guys. I can best do all this now. I've got easy access. That's why I'm doing all this before I do any repairs. Apart from that, in a bit, which I welded up earlier. But like, it's a damn sight easier to do all this shit now. Get in here and sort of straighten this bit out before I do make the new skin for the bottom and repair all this. Alrighty, get started. Alright, mate, this is the last update for the day. So I've worked, and not nowhere near done yet, but that's working out quite nice. I've managed to lift that up and get it to sort of flatten out a bit, like there's still a crease mark in it, and it's probably too high here now. Sort of feels a bit high, but I'd rather it be a bit high at the moment. So I'm going to try and work out some way of putting something in here. I might even put a block of wood in here, like that one, and been using this here on here, and basically sitting it underneath and pushing up like that, actually leaning on it with my arm, and then working the hammer on either side of it to try and get that centre to lift up. Because I sort of can't get enough pressure. Like I've sort of flattened it out with that bar, but now it's sort of real flat, so I'm trying to get it to roll again, get some shape back in it instead of being flat. But we'll get there. The worst of that out, and then try and do a little bit more down the other end. But I reckon that'll do it for today. I've got to get sort of tidied up and go do my tax tonight, so hopefully I'll end up with a bit of some extra coin that I can do something with, get this whole girl going and do some other things that I need to do. So yeah, making progress. So hopefully at the weekend now, because I probably won't get to do anything really now until next weekend, I'll start building this up. I may come out here at night and actually start building this corner, but not on the door, and then I'll cut this out and put it in. We'll see what I'm going to do. I'm just not quite sure how I'm going to attack this yet, but we'll work something out. I'm thinking here, I'm not 100% sure what I'll do. I just don't know if that's thick enough where I might be able to just weld it up, and then grind it off on both sides, like put some weld on both sides and grind it off. That's the worst bit of that down there, and just clean the rest of it up. But yes, this corner sort of needs cut right back out through to here somewhere, get rid of this thin stuff. Probably only needs trimmed off, probably some there, I don't know, somewhere through here. Oh, I'm looking at my hand, not through the camera. Yeah, so trimmed off through here, and build this back up, and yeah, we'll work it out. We'll make her again. So yeah, we'll carry on and clean up and get ready for what else I need to do for the day, which isn't much. She's just about dark, and it's, I'm trying to see what the time is. No, I can't. Alrighty guys, anyway,